Can you feel the love
Fick jag inte nu för du stickar.
Vad sa du?
Sätt inte på micken på den här nu för du stickar in.
Va? Aha. I see what you're saying. Can you feel the love tonight? So, whoa! I wonder if we are live. Could it be true? I don't know. I have to check YouTube to see if you are there. If I am there, stream now. It's a green light that gives us some kind of hint of this is working. We'll see. We'll just have to see. Woo! I can see myself. Second thing, do we get audio? Do we get audio? I repeat, do we get audio? Apparently not. Got a whole lot of bright light. That won't suffice. That will only take us so far. So can you see the love tonight? No, where's the audio? Oh, wait. Yeah, I can hear myself. Now let's just adjust that awful camera angle. My tripod is currently at the dealership where I bought it because it's broken. It's broken. Okay, the light is really shining some light on my pimple. I don't like that. Maybe when I turn around. Is this better? Are we on the same level? So you can talk, so I can talk with you without feeling like overly powerful. No, I think this is it. This is it. We got our little brother with us. Everything is green lit. I say, let's kick this live Friday evaluation off. Or should we wait? No, we shouldn't. Because I do have my green tea. This is not only a weekly Friday live evaluation, it is also tea time with Alex. Well, they kind of is the same thing, but there wouldn't be any live evaluation without the tea. Today we are offering a very nice selections of green tea mango flavored tea. It's awesome. It's really great. So let's kick this off. We are 3 minutes into the stream and I have yet to say anything of value whatsoever. Okay. So Friday, that means we are going to evaluate what has happened this week. And this week we have been all about putting our true self out there, being assertive, voicing our opinion, standing up for ourselves, no matter the context, no matter the situation, just being ourselves. And that is something that is so hard. It's like the simplest thing to say, I'm gonna be myself, but then executing on that, doing that, putting yourself in a social context with friends or people you don't know and actually speak your mind, voicing an opinion that may go straight against everybody around you. And these people that you are surrounded with in these situations, they may be people you care really about, or they just might be people and you just might have this relationship like I've had my entire life of always being the nice guy, always being the guy that can't create enemies, that can't be unliked. I remember when I was growing up, throughout my entire childhood, it was like, or youth maybe, I never encountered a situation where when people didn't like me, because I was always this people pleaser, trying to be nice, trying to come up with solutions that other people would be happy with. So I never stood my ground for the things that I really believed in, because I don't know if it was the case that I wanted to just be nice, or if I was afraid. But it's one situation I remember so vividly, and I heard a friend saying to me that a group people, a person in our group of relationships, she had told him that she didn't like me. She's like, "Oh, this guy is so obnoxious," and I remember that comment, that thing. A person I didn't even like that much, but just hearing that, knowing that, it ate me up from within. I couldn't let it go. It haunted me. It's like, what have I done wrong? And I tried to make it right, like speak to her. And in the end, she didn't turn, and I was left with that feeling. And I never accepted it fully. It always was like a turning knife, twisting within me. And this was just one person, which I really didn't have any close relationship with, and it's just ridiculous. But that was just like it explains how tied I am to what people think of me, how I must, or at least I used to be that guy that really couldn't have people not liking me. It just ate me up. And that is something that I think is a lot of people can relate to that. A lot of people can relate to that. And it is hindering us. That is stopping us from being ourselves, because that means that we are putting other people's opinions in control of our life. We are letting our actions be dictated by other people. And this is done on a subconscious level, because this is really something I've picked up on this week. I had the focused intention of going into all the situations, being myself, standing up for myself, voicing my opinion. And I had a bracelet to remind me of always doing that, just have something vivid, a token that could just get my focus back in the conversations, because it's hard to float away in your own thoughts. But throughout the week, realizing how I'm usually not doing this, it just grew on me, because I went into this week with this momentum. For the last past weeks, we have been building up to this. We've been talking about self-love, self-criticism, how you judge yourself constantly, because when you judge yourself, that is as a result of you wanting to be like your ideal self. You want the people to like you, so that's why you're constantly judging yourself and what you're saying. You are fearing other people's opinions, and that is just something that paralyzes you, because you can't be engaging in those conversations for real. You can't be yourself because you have this filter of how you want other people to experience you. So it's really dragging you down. But this week, when I tried to remove this filter, when I've tried to just speak my mind, something really clicked. Really clicked. In the beginning, it was so hard. When I started to get the flow, when I started to just release the tension and be able to let go of that feeling, let go of the knife turning within when a person maybe didn't like what I said, something changed. A real mind shifter. It's like these old ketchup bottles. You keep banging the bottom, Heinz ketchup bottles, and nothing comes, but then it's just the ketchup effect. It's all actually a thing. And that is what happened this week. It just grew on me. It became easier and easier to speak my mind, and it has more been about the small subtle things, like how I try to speak, to express my kind of humor in the work context. If I think something's funny, usually maybe I'm filtering it because maybe I don't have the guts to really put it out there, or maybe I don't want to be seen in that sense. But just easing up on those restraints and putting those things out there, and it has made my days be so fun. I've had so much laughter with colleagues, friends this week as a result of just being a little bit more unfiltered, speaking things that usually wouldn't have been said. And yeah, it had the effect of coloring off to all the other areas. Because starting with this humor thing, saying things that I think is funny, it made me grew my confidence in like the meeting settings when we had like serious talks about business related stuff. Since I'm a mechanical engineer, and usually I'm so afraid to ask questions when I don't get things. I'm like, oh yeah, I get it, but I don't really get it because I'm afraid what they think of me, that they think, yeah, this is the stupid guy, he just don't get it. I've said this thing 2 times, so I never ask again if I don't get it. But this time I just ask questions. I've come up with my own ideas, or just saying things, easing up on this filter, because what this all is about is getting over the hurdle of caring what other people think of you, and that is so hard. But with the active focus of every morning, I've been writing down some sentences for why I have to be myself, why I really must do this, because that's the way life happens for real. That is how I live life. And I wrote things down like, yeah, you know by experience that you can only be you. You can only live the great life if you do this. You have to do this. And how do I do it? Well, I stand up for myself. I speak my opinions. I just tell myself, I don't care what people think. I don't care what people think. And I've done that every morning. So I've prided myself. I've really entered the day with that one focus. This is what I'm going to do. I have to do this. And it has really worked. And I've reminded myself throughout the day, and the positive spiral, because I've just had so much fun, and it grew on me. Like, yeah, I really don't have to care what people think. The mindset, like, infiltrated all the nerve patterns and everything, and just started to feel more and more like a superhuman. Sounds ridiculous perhaps, but it really, really worked. And I mean, this is perhaps have a whole lot to do with my priming before this. I have my fluctuations when I go up and down, when I work with my self-esteem and all these things. And these past weeks, when I've been priming myself to love myself, doing like these meditations and telling myself, yeah, I love myself, and stuff like, people are very, oh man, that's just cheesy and weird, but it really works to convince yourself that you are your own identity, to embrace the idea of loving yourself, that concept, buying into that, just have faith that maybe someday I will love me if I don't do that. But just doing these meditation and incantation practices, it has really paid off. And this week, being myself, it has so paid off. And the thing is, I've really been able to, because of course I've gone into the loops of self-criticism when I've had a conversation or I've said something stupid. I go into this loop like, why did you say that? You shouldn't have said that. You can't think that and that. And this happens on a subconscious level so quickly. But the difference this week, I've been able to pick up on those self-criticism thoughts. I've been able to, whoa, like an alarm system going off, just highlighting, okay, Alex, here you're having some self-criticism thoughts here. You know you shouldn't be having that. So I stopped, pushed the stop button, and I said to myself, no, that's not what you're gonna do. You are not gonna care what people think. You are not gonna care what people think, because that is the thing we have to accept, and it's so hard. I actually listened to some videos by Leo Gura. He has a YouTube channel about personal development. It really has some great videos. Some are like 2 hours long. This guy can really talk. I mean, if I can talk, nothing compared to this guy. But he does it in a very fluent and awesome way. And I'm gonna put those 2 videos that I've been listening to down there in the description. One is only 20 minutes, one is 55. How to be your real authentic self, how to stop caring what people think of you. They are really good, and they talk about what I'm talking about here, maybe in other words, but how you have to accept the fact that everybody out there is not gonna like you. I mean, just look at this world. How many billions of people aren't we? It doesn't matter if you are if you are living your perfect self, your perfect self, your perfect version of yourself. I mean, I'm striving to be that person, perfect Alex. If you were actually able to execute on that and be that person every day, even if that was the case, even if you did that, thousands, millions of people would hate you for being that person. They would absolutely hate you for being your perfect self. Do you see how that is an unwinnable game? You are playing a game which you can't win. You really can't win this game. And that we have to accept. We have to accept that the definition of the good life is not winning. It's being yourself. It's expressing yourself. It's about enjoying yourself. Self-amusement, having fun with life, having fun with family and friends, not being lonely. Just having the great life. That is some deep insights I've had, and it has happened through applications of this mindset. And I keep going back to being yourself, and it's so easy to say, but it's hard because some people don't even know who their true selves are. I don't know who my true self are, but I have some idea. I'm in a process, and that means my true self right now is being that person in that unknown position. I have clarity on some values and beliefs in my life, but if I come to a point where this is an area I don't know how I really feel or how I really act, that means that's the opinions I'm putting out there. That I'm not sure on where I stand at this point. I can't really say that or that right now because I'm in a reflecting mood on this topic or whatever. But that is what you say. Then you're not gonna conform to what this person thinks about this topic and say, yeah, that's what I think too. That means, yeah, maybe that's the case. I'm willing to take in your opinion of that, but I really don't know right now. So you see, even if you don't know who you are right now, that means that is who you are. You are in an exploration mode. Of course, we're all in exploration mode, but some to more extent than others. I have some very clear beliefs and values in some areas, and some I'm just lost, totally lost. Like in the food area right now, I'm thinking like, should I be vegan? Should I eat super much protein like I'm always doing? In that area, I'm really lost right now, but that is also what I'm expressing. Maybe a bit off topic here, but that's just an important thing to also address, that what if I don't know who I am? And that's a perfectly healthy part of this journey, but it doesn't stop you from expressing who you truly are. It doesn't stop you from backing down from these thoughts that comes up, because that's a really giveaway on when you're not being yourself. When you have these thoughts popping up, when you're having a conversation and you're like, no, I'm not going to say that. But then you're like, wait a second, what am I doing this week? That's what I've been doing. I'm actually going to say that. One perhaps too far of example of this is when I had a conversation with my colleague. She's sitting next to me, and she had done something like weird. I don't remember exactly. and so I was thinking, I was about to say, yeah, I love you anyways, and we are really not on that level. So I stopped myself, and then I was thinking, wait, what's the focus of the week? Speaking your mind. So then I said, I laughed a bit loud to myself, so she could actually hear it. And then I told her, you know what? I was actually about to say, I love yourself. Even the fact that you just did that, and just that situation, when I said, I was just about to say it, but then I didn't, and we just started to laugh like crazy because it just was an awesome little moment. Sorry if you're not able to appreciate what happened there due to my storytelling, but just an example of how my active choice of unfiltering myself created an awesome moment this week, as so many other awesome moments. I can literally write down 100 moments this week, which was great only as a result of what I've set out to do this week. And maybe at this point I'm just starting to get repetitive. So be it. I needed to express these things because it has been a truly revolutionizing week, a mind shift in how I live my life. And I wanted to continue on this path because I don't steal, I'm a good person. I still have a lot of issues hindering me. I still have, you don't fix the issue of not being yourself in a week. This is an ongoing, long process. It really is. But I've started the journey. I've felt it. You see how I start a journey every week? But I get to know so much about myself when I do these things. But I need to work. I need to continue to work on not caring what people think of me. So in some sense, the next week's challenge is gonna be not caring what people think of me. I don't know if maybe that will play out like doing weird things. Like I've seen people like laying down on the street, those weird things which I'm really like, oh man, come on, why are you doing that? You just want attention. But I start to see the purpose of those kinds of exercises now. I see the good in that, in like lying down on the street. That is like, oh man, people are really thinking I'm fucked up. But doing that, you really have to accept not liking what people think of you. So I don't know, some kind of challenge in that realm. I think it's gonna be played out. We'll see. I'm excited about it because it's a game changer. It really is. Really is. Do you care about what other people think of you? Of course you do. If you do, to what extent? Please let me down. Don't let me down. Let me know down there in the comments. Also, I'm gonna be posting a video from last weekend, which I've been editing all night. It's about me approaching a lot of people, asking them for an interview of the topic of loneliness. I think it's quite a nice video, and I will be posting it in a couple of hours or so. And I really think you should watch it. I'm quite satisfied with it. It's quite fun. So that will be out, and Sunday, next weekly challenge. And as I've said, it will be something within the context of not learning how not to care what people think of you. In what way? We'll just have to see. With those words, I think I'm about done doing this, drinking my cold tea, having fun, voicing my true opinions. That is what I do here, and that is something that I've always done here at the channel, and that's why I really enjoy coming back here. Really am. And one thing that I forgot to mention is that I've just started to read the book, or look into the book by Susan Pinker, The Village Effect, how the objective amount of people you surround yourself with is like the #1 factor for how long you're gonna live. And that is something that is super interesting to me right now. It's so, I don't know if I'm going into a new topic here, but I really are intrigued by this. It's really motivating me to go out and meet people. Maybe not being this introvert guy and accepting that is who I am. Maybe it is just that I'm not totally. Maybe I've classified myself as an introvert because I've just been so critical on my own performance that I've not been able to enjoy myself in situations because I've just judged myself too hard every day in every life, and not being able to have these fun conversations because I haven't been my true self. Now when I've been living this week, it's like, yeah, maybe I would enjoy hanging out with people more if this was the state I was always in. So I kind of think that maybe I have turned myself an introvert as a self-protecting mechanism, as an excuse for not being out there in the world because that's uncomfortable. But if I can change this, if I can live this, be this person myself, enjoying every interaction I am in, maybe I'm not an introvert. I don't know. This book and Brené Brown's book, The Wilderness, which was last week's focus, has made me question my profile of who I am, and I think that's interesting. It's something I'm gonna dig more into. So Susan Pinker, The Village Effect. I'll put the links down there, and you can see some talks about them. We'll see how that will influence next week's challenge. Again, that is it. I raise my cup. I thank you for watching. I wish you a great weekend, and I will see you in the next one. Bye, guys, and happy Black Friday, Thanksgiving, or whatever you are up to. Oh, that's my belly. It just made this tongue.